Hello everyone, my name is Optec and this is my guide to 3.1 PvE Demonology Warlock. In this guide I'm going to cover the talents, glyphs, mods and rotations needed to get the best DPS in PvE. Just going to explain a quick bit about the talents I've chosen. Here we see we've got a very heavy Demonology build, it's right down to Metamorphosis. Main talents here, Metamorphosis and Ruin. I've taken 1 point in Suppression, but you can get a link to the build in the movie description. Glyphs I'm using are Felguard, Life Tap, Metamorphosis. These are, in my opinion, the best for this particular build. Metamorphosis, of course, being the one that turns you into a big demon. This is a nice long cooldown, extra damage buff, and Ruin, which gives you nice big crits, as you can see here. Now I can tell you a little bit about my UI mods. First of all, here we have Quartz, which is a it's the cast bar mod. It lets you know your latency and helps you time your rotations nicely. I also got Necrosis, which is kind of an all-in-one Warlock add-on. It's not essential for increased DPS, but it helps manage your pets and spells. Also using Recount to record the damage here. It's got loads of options for breaking down where the damage is being done, crit rates of spells, overall raid DPS. I'd recommend getting it. And finally, Bartender 4. This is just what I'm using to tidy up my UI. I'm going to tell you about for this particular build, the primary damage rotation. Now in this, you're always going to want to open with Curse of Elements and then get Corruption and Immolate up. And once that's up, what I've done is I've macroed my Trinket, my Demonic Empowerment and my Metamorphosis transformation all to the Shadowbolt key. So then you just spam Shadowbolts, making sure you life tap about halfway through the duration of Corruption and Immolate. The reason you do this is, well, 3 reasons really. It's wise to life tap at least once every rotation anyway. If you're also using Glyph of Life Tap here, which has the added bonus of giving you extra spell power when you use it. And if you've got the tier 7 4-piece bonus, you also gain 300 spirit when you life tap. So I mean, it's a good idea just to make sure you're life tapping. If you've got the 7-piece set bonus twice every rotation, and if you've got Glyph of Life Tap at least once every rotation. And in this video you'll see me life tapping, like I say, about halfway through Corruption and Immolate. The rest is just showing me rinsing and repeating this strategy, always making sure you get life tap, then Corruption and Immolate. If you do Corruption then Immolate, the 2 dots end at exactly the same time, or thereabouts, which means you can just recast them in the same order and you don't go out of phase with your buffs. The good thing about this is that you only have to really concentrate every now and then just to renew your buffs, and you can concentrate about your position in the raid, get safe, get away from any AoEs that bosses are doing. Another thing to note is if you use your transformation when you're in demon form to pop your Immolation Aura if you're close to the boss or any ads that you can do a bit more damage to. Immolation Aura does 1k plus DPS on its own, so it's wise to use it if you can. As I say, if you can see the DPS value in the corner there, my gear is mainly 25-man Nux gear here. I think I have a couple of 10-man, although are epics, but that's it. And we can see my DPS is just over 3.3k. Last thing I'm going to talk about is the Decimate rotation. This happens when your target's on low health. When this happens, if you get as far away from a target as you can simply alternate Shadowbolt and Soulfire. And the reason for this is that a Shadowbolt, when it lands, applies the debuff to the target, which allows you to cast the Soulfire very quickly. If you're able to cast the Soulfire with enough haste that you cast it before the Shadowbolt arrives, you consume the debuff and then instantly reapply it when the Shadowbolt arrives, and this allows you to just alternate Shadowbolt, Soulfire, Shadowbolt, Soulfire. Now, if you want to life tap at any point during this, life tap after you get a Soulfire off. This means you've got the buff up for the next time you want to do it. So you cast Soulfire, life tap, then Shadowbolt, Soulfire, and then alternate the 2 again. This means you can keep absolute maximum uptime and get really high DPS. You can see here, even in my gear, I'm comfortably managing over 4.3k DPS. So in a raid situation, you want to get as far away from the target as possible to make this doable. If you're too close to the target, you'll have to cast 2 Shadowbolts before you do a Soulfire. If you manage to get these 2 rotations perfect during a raid, you should easily be high up on the DPS meters. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching my guide. I've been Optec from Trollbane-Europe. If you found this guide useful, leave me a comment, let me know what you feel. I may make more in the future. Thank you very much. Cheers.